Hey mamas! So today's vlog is about taking care of your finances as a woman and not depending on a man, basically, even if you're married, just like taking charge of your finances, keeping track of your goals, and keeping track of what you're grateful for with a gratitude journal. And I'd like to call it the gratitude goal-oriented journal, or a gratitude grateful journal, if you will. So yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about on this car vlog. So I've been really doing my research lately and really just basically, uh, you know, realizing that I've not known a lot about how to handle my own money for most of my life. I was never taught in high school. No one ever taught me. I mean, I already had learning disabilities, so I struggled with all of that, and then no one ever really taught me how to handle my own money. And so all the way through my 20s, I had all kinds of problems with debt. I got into a debt management course and got out of it, luckily, but it was just humiliating. I'd get debt collectors calling me at my job, and it was just not a lot of fun. And it was stressful and anxiety ridden, and I just basically felt like a failure early in life, and I kind of had that stigma with me, like my whole adult life, about money. And my mom, she struggled with money as well, and still does, kind of. So it's kind of just what's been put in me. Like, no one ever taught me how to balance a checkbook when I was young, anything like that. So I've always felt like I've had to be dependent on others to like make my life happen. And this is real talk, real talk. You can believe it or not believe it, but I wouldn't put it out there if it wasn't, who would want to share this? Like, it's embarrassing, like you were taught and you're not good at finances. And so now I'm finally at a point in my life where I'm realizing, I've been listening to a lot of other YouTubers and just people who really know about how to manage money. And this is such an important message for moms too, and women in general, because you never know when your relationship is going to go south. You never know, even if you're in like the most ideal marriage or perfect life, it seems, at the time with your spouse. You never know when things are going to go bad, or they could get injured, or even worse, death. So, and you don't know what they've got set up for you, for your own financial security and your children and your family. So I think it's so important to think like a businesswoman when it comes to with everything, but especially with your money and your bottom line, because if you don't have that, you're going to be, you could be in a really bad position, and maybe you don't have any family that you can go to, or maybe that your family doesn't have any money either. They're not maybe the people to draw on for help, or maybe you don't get along with your family. So there could be a million reasons why you just totally have to depend on you. And I've come to the light that that's the only way I really want to be with my money in a lot of ways. Like, yes, I'm married, and yes, I don't have to worry about maybe certain things that single women, either single by themselves or single raising children, they may have to worry more about, like, how they're going to support themselves and their children. And I'm fortunate that I'm married and I don't have to worry about those things. But like I said, you never know in life where it can take you. So I've repositioned my thoughts about like kind of being like this housewife and stay-at-home mom and not worrying about all the other stuff so much. And also, I just want to have my own money, and I want to have my own sense of like being able to take care of things and not feel like I'm another child like asking for money, because that's sometimes how you can feel. Even if your spouse doesn't make you feel that way, you can feel sometimes like you're another just person who's a dependent, and that's not a fun feeling, especially through all the years of struggling with debt and all that I've had. So anyways, cutting to the chase, I think it's really important to take control of your finances as a female and in this society. And it's so driven, like, in the money world by men. And I mean, there are women that are coming up and they're becoming CEOs, and they're on the cover of Forbes, like Bethany from the Housewives, and all these amazing women that have broken through the glass ceiling and made millions and millions of dollars. And it's not just inherited wealth, or because they married a rich husband, but because they made it on their own. But not all of us have that opportunity. We don't get to those heights, so we need to think more like grounded. I mean, we can have these huge goals to be huge entrepreneurs and make millions of dollars, like I have those goals, but in the meantime, we have to be grounded, and we have to think about what we can do right now to just think better about money. And like I said, I've been listening to a lot of different gurus on YouTube, and just people who really seem to know what they're talking about, and then they've studied from people who really do know what they're talking about, like Tony Robbins and some of the great speakers of our time. And the best thing is just like, you have to like consume less and become an owner of more. And that's just something I just heard today on a vlog, and it's so on point. You have to, and it's so hard for us women because we're having children, and we're consuming for them. We're getting all their stuff and that they need in life, and clothes and shoes and classes, and like right now I'm trying to figure out how am I going to pay for classes, how am I going to do all these things that I want for my children in the future. And it's just really hard because there's so many things to account for, on top of just the fact that I want to build up my own savings and develop my own brand with my money, and work on my music career more, and buy the gear that I need to be a better artist, and maybe save up to get a little bit more education. There's a part of me that wants to go back to school and finish school. So you got to think about all these things. And so that's one thing that really hit me. It's like, yes, consume less and own more. And what he means is like own more in stock and own more, assets, not liabilities. So like buying a car, do you want just the fanciest car when you get money, or do you want to take that money and roll it into like your child's college savings? Like what's really important long term. You have to think long term. And right now I'm actually on my way to change banks, because I've been in Chase for a long time, and I've been in the general normal banks for so many years, and I'm just so sick of like banks, like regular banks. So I'm thinking of going with a credit union. I'm looking into a bank called BECU, and I'm gonna go check it out. It's a credit union, and I just want to see what they have to offer. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet, but I just want to know more about it. So I'm on my way to that. So I'm just taking the first steps to like really looking at my finances, looking at how I bank, looking at what I can do to just be better with money overall. And then another thing that this guy was talking about in the vlog, which I think sounds really, really beneficial, is this app called Capital with a Q. And it basically, when you use it, it basically helps you manage your money. Like it basically sets you up so you're saving a little bit every time you spend. And I haven't even really messed with it. I haven't even signed up for it yet, but it's supposed to like take out a certain percentage, like, because he was saying that you want to save at least 10% of everything that you earn. So pay yourself first, and that is how you save. That's how you grow wealth, because you're paying yourself first, and you're not worried about like your bills. Obviously you're gonna have to pay your bills. You're gonna have to pay your rent, food, car, whatever, gas, cell phones, but you have to pay yourself first to build. So don't be afraid to pay yourself that 10%, and this app helps you in that by helping you save. So that's another thing that I just wanted to get on the point of, is that I'm so bad at like speaking for a long time, but it's just so important to think that way. And like I said, I am like the worst person with money. Like I know there's people that are worse than me, like people that get into just horrible debt, like hundreds of thousands. I've never been that bad, but I've been in thousands of debt before, like I said, in my 20s, and it was just awful. And ever since then, it's just been kind of like, just doing what I can, but never really feeling like I have enough money to work with and do the things that I really want to do, like travel. Now I'm kind of in a holding pattern because my kids are so young, so I really can't do a lot of traveling right now. But obviously when they get older, I'm gonna want to travel, and obviously I have a lot of goals. I'm gonna buy a house soon, and so there's a lot to thinking about it, and like getting focused and using the tools. And it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be this like penny pinching thing. It just has to be like common sense. And these apps help too so much nowadays. We have all these tools that we didn't have, like even when I was in my 20s, there wasn't these tools that there are now, like for the millennials and stuff. Like, you know, it was really like sink or swim, like know how to use a checking book, know how to build a savings account, know how to do all these things. So I'm so grateful that I'm still young enough to benefit from some of these things that are coming around for the millennials and how they manage their money and their futures. And yeah, so that's just kind of like a little bit of what I wanted to touch on with finance. I think I want to do more talk about financing, because I think, like I said in the beginning, it's so important that women, this is my first car vlog too, so I just don't want to get in a car accident while I'm trying to vlog and talk, but it's so important that women especially just, you know, take control of it, like, because it's just like it scares me to think like what it would be like if I didn't have a husband, or if I didn't have family that I could lean on for help every now and then, you know. So it's like it's a scary thought, and like you want to wake up, you know, and stop thinking kind of like a teenager and start thinking more like an adult, because you have adult responsibilities and you're a woman. So I know it's hard. Like a lot of women go their whole lives where someone's just taking care of them, supporting them, and they go from their family to their husbands, and no one ever really shows them that, you know, there's so much more to like managing your life than just kind of waiting for everyone else to help you manage and just looking cute and, you know, wearing the latest clothes and the expensive makeup and all that. There's so much more to it than that. So I wish someone would have taught me, but now I'm learning, better late than never, and I'm sharing it with everybody else, because that's what you do when you learn something, you share it. So and the other thing I wanted to touch on that I've been doing a lot lately, and it's really been working for me as far as keeping a positive state of mind, having a better overall day, and it's just so fucking awesome, is these gratitude journals. They are just awesome. I don't know, you've probably heard of like the keeping a journal and journaling, and how important that is for just everything, for how you think about things, how you view the world, how your whole day goes basically. And I'm going to show you my journal eventually. And how I do my journaling. And so many of these gurus do talk about journaling and how important it is to journal. Some of the most successful people throughout history always kept a journal, because it just helped them in life and in their thought processes. And it's a lot like doing, you know, like meditation or listening to subliminals or affirmations. It just keeps you on track with that positive state of mind, because you never want to get away from that. I mean, we're not going to have, every day is not going to be like a perfect, flawless, like, oh my God, life is so great and, you know, whatever. There's going to be days that you're just going to want to throw in the towel. So this journaling really helps me, especially on those days when I'm just, so I look like such a nerd with my glasses, but I have to wear them for driving. I can't see like diddly squat without my glasses. So, yeah, especially for days when it's just like, I don't know how I made it through that day. Sometimes I journal at night, and sometimes I journal before I start my day. It just depends on how the day goes. Right now I'm so busy because, like I think I said in my last vlog, my son is starting kindergarten in a week, and you know, there's all the stuff to do with that. Then I want to get him signed up for a bunch of different classes. I got my young daughter who's only 2 who needs me all the time, and then on top of that I just got a job, and so I'm working part-time basically for helping somebody with their business. And so it's just like there's a lot going on, and so the journaling just kind of keeps me on track with my mental state, because sometimes I don't have time to listen to videos, or I might not have time to you know, just meditate or anything like that. So you find different avenues that help you get through hard times, or just not necessarily hard times, but just stressful, high energy, high busy, high life times where you're not getting a lot of breaks in between. There's not a lot of interlude to just sit down and just be. Like, I literally bought a brand new couch a couple weeks ago, or like a week ago, I think. And yeah, it was a week ago, and I have sat in it maybe twice since I've got it. Like I've been that busy. I've been at my office on the desk, on my computer, on my desk, and I have not literally even sat down in my own couch maybe more than 3 times now. My husband and I went to the McGregor. We went to a sports bar to see the McGregor and Mayweather fight, and that was like the last thing that I did where I actually came home and sat on my couch. So yeah, so life can be a little crazy sometimes, and back to these books, it just really helps you release all that, and it either helps you release it or it helps you stay focused on whatever you're trying to stay focused on. So that goes to the goals part. I do a lot of affirmations in my journaling. So for instance, I will write, I am a successful mother, or I am a positive person today, and then or I declare that I will have this at this date, and then I write down the date and the time and everything like that. And the more you think it, the more you feel it, like the law of attraction and everything like that, the more likely it is to manifest in your reality. Now you have to stay focused on those thoughts, and you also have to stay positive, and you also have to be proactive, meaning you can't just think it and feel it and keep that positive energy going and then have it just totally manifest. Now sometimes it has, like, good things have happened to me, like just little things, like for instance, when my husband and I went to go watch the game, we didn't have a saved VIP seat, so the place was totally packed, as you can imagine, with a fight that big, and there was it was $50 cover, and we had no place to sit. So we were basically thinking we were gonna have to stand the whole time, but there was a table available because we got there pretty early, but it was a saved reserve table, but we sat on it anyway. And the guy came along, he's like, hey, you guys can't sit here, you're gonna get kicked out because this is a reserve table. It's right up front, right by the TV, large TV screen, and you guys aren't gonna be able to sit here. And we said, okay, fine, we understand, and these people reserved it. And we just sat and sat and sat, and then some other people came that hadn't reserved the table either. They sat at the other part of the table, and nobody ever came and kicked us out, and the people never showed up. So sometimes things do happen in your favor in life, like you get a closer parking spot, or you'll eat at a restaurant that's just super cheap, but the food is like just banging good. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So you know how it is sometimes. It'd be like, damn, like, this must be like the food gods or something. But it's just so nice, like to have that attitude, and it helps. So, but again, you have to put for the bigger things, I've noticed, you gotta be proactive, you gotta do the work, and you gotta be doing the affirmations, the subliminals, the meditation, all of that. You got to be doing and thinking that way all the time to really attract what you're wanting to attract into your life. You have to know that you already have it. Like, so even as you're going through the motions of getting it, like, I want a house. So I do a lot of looking at houses, walking through houses. Sometimes I'll just go to a model house and think if I look at this house long enough, it'll help me kind of give me, first of all, motivation to work towards getting the house and do things and take steps to getting the house, but also just keep me focused on that goal of this house is where I want to be someday. So going to a place and physically seeing it, touching it, like having money and touching it and feeling it, and realizing it, it's the realizing it that it's actually yours, and knowing it, that's what helps manifest. Also taking the steps in life that will get you there, like taking control of your finances, taking control of your life, taking control of your goals and your gratitude. And the final thing I want to say is hit the goals. That's another thing that I want to show you when I have more time to show you my journal, is writing those goals down, declaring what those goals will be, setting dates and times, and being very specific about everything. I'm absolutely sure you've probably heard this in other vlogs, but it's true. Just being very specific about what you want, where you're going. Like with me and these YouTube channels, I just do it as I can. I'm not putting all this pressure on myself to be perfect, and I'm not putting all this pressure on myself to like do them every day. I just do them when I can. If this is a slow long haul to like see a lot of people viewing, see a lot of subscribers, that's okay for me right now because I'm raising children. And yes, would I like it to happen overnight? Would I like more people to be subscribing to my channel? Would I like more views? Absolutely I would. You know, who wouldn't? But I'm not putting that pressure on myself to crank them out every day. I just do what I can. If I start cranking them out every day, you know, my son's starting kindergarten, that could happen, you know, but right now I'm just doing what I can. And the bottom line is I haven't got off the goal. I'm still focused on the goal. I'm still making the videos when I can. I'm still vlogging when I can. And so that's what it's all about. It's not, it could be like with my music career. I'm in my early 40s, you know, and I've wanted to sing my entire life. I've wanted to have an album and be successful and have people kind of know me. Like, I didn't really want super fame, but I wanted like success in my field and just people to appreciate me and like my music and like what I'm doing and buy it and, you know, all that. And so, you know, basically, you can, if you have a goal that you're really passionate about, you basically have to stay focused. I almost got in a car accident vlogging my first vlog, so so yeah, to stay focused, especially when you're vlogging, car vlogging. But you have to stay focused on that goal, like as long as it takes to make it manifest. So if it takes a lifetime, if you're not a multi-millionaire until you're 100, it's that you became a multimillionaire. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It really doesn't. It's that you reach that goal, you know. And I know that doesn't sound fancy. It's not like, oh, no one wants to really be rich and old, you know. Everyone wants to be rich and young, you know. But hey, you know, at least you're leaving, if you're not rich and young, you're leaving that legacy for your children. You know, they can have money, or your grandchildren or whatever, and you did something for them and you left that for them, and you left like this thing that they can work with in life and they can build their own legacies on, you know. So it's never for nothing. Nothing is never for nothing. And I kind of want to end it on that because I don't want to get in a car accident today. So this is my first car vlog. I'm not really sure how people do this like without getting in an accident, because it's kind of scary, but I will start doing car vlogs when my kids are taking classes, like Banana Blondie does, I think, where she just parks in a parking lot and vlogs in her car while they're doing their thing. So, because I kind of like this car vlogging, it's convenient. So convenient and scary all at the same time. So anyways, that's it for now, and I'm signing off this time. But remember to subscribe, like, and share if you like any of the information I shared today. And that's it for now. See you on my next vlog. Bye, guys.